Lafferty. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the issue 3, page 22, Director's Commentary. I'm your host, Keenan Lafferty.
I'm Colton Kresser.
We're going to be talking about some stuff, so let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we're going to be talking about is, if you would imagine, page 22. Wow, how about that? And I'm trying to click a video thinking that it's Photoshop. Awesome. Start.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, issue 2, or page 22 was released probably a couple of weeks ago, and we are getting ready to release page 23, which is going to be coming out on Monday. So you figured,
super stoked.
Yeah, we're super excited about that.
It's definitely one of my favorite pages. This page, 22 and 23 are definitely some of my more favorite pages that we've done.
Which is really strange because I saw page 23, I was like, oh, this is just a filler before something else happens.
No,
the big thing happens. But we did it, and we probably shouldn't talk too much about it, but basically, I didn't think it was going to be that cool, but then it ended up being freaking awesome.
Yeah,
we are here to talk about page 22. We can talk a little bit more about
another story for another time.
Upcoming things after this. So anyway, okay, so let's start with these sketches, right? And we're going to be going into a time lapse too, and I'll be showing you guys everything that I go through. But, I mean, you guys have seen many sketches before, but this is basically how the comic starts. All of my pages start like this. Sometimes I'll go in and I'll refine characters, like if I'm just kind of in the zone or I'm feeling it. You know, I'll go for it and I'll just kind of refine expressions and all that stuff. And we'll write things on the sides here, you know, just like ideas that we have. Basically, the way that it goes, Colton, why don't you talk a little bit about the way that we do this
usually the way we go about it is it's like Keenan or I will be like, hey, Keenan, or, you know, talking to me. I have this idea, or like, let's start working on the next page. We need to get started on the next page, you know. So it's like, all right, cool. So what we do is we like to come in, we sit down, and we draw out those rectangles, and we just start laying in panels. It's just like, okay, so the storyline is like this, you know, it goes like this from point A to point B. So how do we get there? What does it look like? Is it going to be funny, serious? Like, what is it like? What are the motives of the characters? What are the characters' expressions?
Basic
like
ideas,
yeah. So we like to lay out basic ideas of what's going to happen, and then we lay out the panels, and we decide, okay, well, I was thinking for a page like this, it could be like this, you know, draw here, big one here, small one here, like two of them here, you know, kind of deal. And like when we did the mirror scene, the big mirror scene where it like kind of 360s on you, I remember I was trying to explain it to Keenan for a while. I was like, no, like the page is like this, and then there's the mirror, and I like was showing him by his mirror.
He just drew me some stick figures, and then it totally was clear.
Yeah,
like, oh, so that's what
yeah. So we usually like to do things like that. We draw it out, just ideas, or like, you know, I'll be like, oh, here, I was thinking something like this, and he's like, oh, well, I was thinking this, and usually it's just, you know, it's like my idea's good and his idea's good, so when we make them better, or when we put them together, they get better.
It becomes like the Power Rangers making the giant Megazord. Was it Megazord?
I've never seen Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, that's before your time.
No, I mean I know what Power Rangers is, but
the original.
You're not much older than I am.
OG Power Rangers, man. I think it's Megazord. We bring our ideas together and make Megazord. Okay, that's the point we're trying to get across.
So that's basically the way we go about it. And sometimes, like not too long ago, we got in the zone. And we laid out page after page after page and page and page. And we were just going for like an hour.
Yeah. I kind of want to do that again, and that was really cool.
Just pages. We got pretty far. It was like, so we're pretty good for a while. We know.
Yeah, we got to get
as opposed to like, oh, I was thinking this would happen. It's pretty solid.
Because up to this point, we were kind of like the page would come out, and I had like a vague idea of what was next, and but I wouldn't know exactly what was going to be on the page until I literally sat down and started drawing it.
Yeah.
But now the way that we're doing it is like we take those beginning sketches like the one that I showed you right here, and we basically lay out pages like this. And so we know now a basic idea of, hey, okay, this character is going to be framed like this.
Yeah.
This action is going to be happening. We have this much time to get across this conversation and all that stuff, and it's really been helping out a lot.
Yeah,
really enjoying that.
Definitely, because it's like, oh, well, we have this many scene ideas or this many panel ideas and things like that, but we only have this many pages left in the issue or the part.
Yeah, so you gotta make some choices. Yeah, sometimes you gotta cut some scenes. Sometimes you gotta figure out like really what makes the story work and what's the most important things to have in there.
Yeah, it's definitely good though, because instead of just adding in every single thing that we have ideas for, which is fine. Like I think that'd be great, but it's good because you really cut out a lot of the stuff that doesn't need to be there, and it keeps it instead of like oh well, it gets interesting sometimes, but there's a lot of parts that are just kind of there. It's mostly
everything. It's like the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
like, all these scenes are out, and then we pick the very best ones and make sure that those ones go in.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So the biggest thing that I hope you guys have noticed just watching me sketch these pages out so far is just the many times that I redraw the characters' faces and expressions over and over and over again, because I am a huge believer in just like you really need to nail your characters' expressions, right? You really need to make sure that they're looking right, because I've seen way too many comics, especially after this last Comic-Con. People are handing out these comics, right? And I just open it, and these characters are like supposed to be talking to each other, but their eyes are just like staring off into like the distance. I don't know, like some of the characters. Like, I don't know who lined these pages or who did the art, but it just looks really rushed. It looks really rushed. The expressions are really just fake. They look like plastic faces. And they're not looking at who they're talking to. I'm like, man, this is like, and this is supposed to be a professional comic. Like, this would not fly. Like, if I was in charge, this would not happen.
We definitely take our time, and sometimes it's good, yeah.
A lot of time.
A lot of the time,
we take our time.
No, I mean, that's good, though. I mean,
we're focusing on quality.
It's definitely not that we're lazy. It's like, oh, we can't put this out. Like, it's not done. Not because we're lazy, but, like, it's just not ready.
Yeah. Sometimes we're lazy, but most of the time we're over here.
Well, sometimes, there's the thing. There's sometimes where the page just comes together so well that you can't even believe it, and it's done days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's times where me and Keenan are working on the page 30 minutes before we're supposed to put it out.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, there's been
it just takes
like literally it's coming out that night, and it's like, okay, we seriously need to figure out this dialogue like right
yeah,
now.
Dialogue.
But I kind of like that. I don't know. There's something about that. I like living life on the edge sometimes. I just feel kind of dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Feeling a little dangerous, but
yeah.
It's good, though. Why don't you, I think it'd be cool if you talked about the perspective in this room. Because this is...
oh, yeah. Perspective and just laying out these backgrounds is such, like... It's really challenging, but it's a challenge that I like to kind of meet head on, because it's just... it's something that I knew that I had to get past. It's something that I had to learn as I was doing this stuff. And one of the biggest things, like, let me go back a little ways. You can look and see how I do these backgrounds. I actually feel like I'm really cheating when I do these backgrounds, because I literally just lay out the entire thing in black and white, right? Okay, right here. And then I just start adjusting it with this gradient map tool.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it just throws colors on there. It gets a basic idea of what colors I want to be using in the background. And then I start just like adding colors onto it. See, I'm just like fixing the values, doing the gradient map, and then I just go in and I color the carpet red. It seems like all I have to do is just add one other color into it, and then it automatically starts to feel much more balanced.
Pulls it together.
Yeah, exactly. But perspective's tough. This is just cheated to friggin' no end here, like the perspective in this room. But it looks good. Sometimes it doesn't have to look perfect, but it has to feel right.
Yeah,
as long as it feels right, then I'm like, okay.
That's one thing that I'm a strong believer in as far as art, or at least my art goes, is sometimes I'm just like, you know what, this is not proportionate, this is not anatomically correct, but as long as it looks good and pleasing and appealing to the eye, then
you just gotta trust yourself.
Then I think it's fine, yeah. Because I've definitely wasted more time trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And getting upset than if I would have just left it. So.
Yeah. So I'm adding in this third color, and then the other thing that I found that works really well is adding grays into it, like little grays up in here, just kind of desaturating some of the colors. I don't know, it just gives your eyes much more variety to look at. I like to put like grays in the shadows and stuff like that, because my comic is already really, really colorful. So it just feels like the grays balance it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is I think that when you add grays and like desaturated colors into your comic, it makes it look even more colorful. Because if everything's just like neon and just like slapped down, then it just looks like kind of overwhelming. You're like, oh, okay, well, that's an interesting.
It's got something to like reflect on.
But if you use contrast, it makes the really colorful things look even more colorful.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first started the comic pen, it was like super desaturated. Like everything was just like gray.
Gray.
Like if you compare this page right here
to one of the first two pages.
Yeah, like literally like page, anything after page 10 of issue 1, it's a huge color difference. And I'm really interested in how that's gonna affect it when I go back and kind of change some of those panels, because I am planning on going back and finishing up issue 1, or rather changing it to get it ready for print.
Hopefully gonna do like a deluxe reissue thing, kind of go back, touch it up, work on some dialogue, other things like that.
Yeah,
soup it up,
Yeah. I got a lot of things that I could figure out as far as visuals. And most of that stuff is coming to me through like the fan art from like Alicia and Ozzy. Awesome people out there have just been submitting fan art, just giving me their takes on the world. Like the way that they draw some of the characters or the way they lay out some sort of color scheme, I'm like, this is what I should have done. I should have just done it like
Should have just done it like this.
Yeah, I should have done it like that. So
that's go back to that page real quick, or the last time lapse, the very last one that we was just on.
Oh, okay. This one here.
Yeah. I just want to talk about like the dialogue because this page
do you want me
had.
To just pull up the actual.
Yeah. Because I think this page definitely had a lot more dialogue than a lot of the comic. Too.
Yeah. Why don't you give us a little speech on that?
So the direction with this page was in the last page. Emma walks out. She thinks she's in a
pull that up too.
Yeah, she thinks she's in a beautiful dress and everything, and Nico is definitely fond of what she's wearing, which is awesome.
Oh yeah. In fact, let's pull that up.
Wow. Yeah, pull it up real quick.
But go ahead, continue.
So we wanted it was one of those things where this part was kind of long. Like it could have this part could have been a few pages. When him telling him all the rules and everything like that, it could have been a few pages. But we were able to kind of condense it, which is okay because Nico's more the type of person where he likes to talk. And he's usually interrupted when he talks. He's like, and everyone's like, whatever, shut up. I don't want to listen to you.
That was a running thing for him, for sure.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice. Like I really liked being able to put a lot of vocal, more
speak.
Character. Yeah, more character as opposed to, hey, shut up, shorty, and things like that. People are like, he actually is kind of by himself, and now he's in charge. He's not really told to do. He's in charge. Yeah, he's running the show. So. It was just awesome, and it was really fun too because like this page it really shows like his character a lot. He's very, very anxious and very serious and wants to be serious, even though he sometimes doesn't even follow his own rules. He's kind of one of those people that's just like, oh, we got to do this, this, and this, and this, and then he breaks every single one of those rules. But we thought it'd be really funny because they're sneaking out. They're not supposed to do this. Nico does this all the time, so he's not worried about himself. He's worried about her. He's never been around her before.
Yeah.
He's kind of wanting to get to know her kind of deal. So
impress her.
Maybe. Yeah, impress her. Like, well, let's sneak out, And
I'm the brains behind the operation. Let me show you how this runs.
So he really like kind of cracks down and is like, all right, well, if we're gonna do this, there's gonna be rules. You got to do this and this and this, and I want you to do this and this. And don't touch anything, And she's just so excited she can't even contain herself. She thinks she's going to this grand, majestic ball, and so same thing. Cuts him off, and it's just like, shut up, let's get out of here, let's go.
Yeah, which is quite good.
It was a really fun page, especially when we were like, oh, what's he gonna say here when he's running? Because we had an idea of what he wanted to say, but like really like nailing it. Sometimes it's just so hard. Like we'll have to take breaks from the page.
Yeah, we take breaks when we're writing dialogue too. It's important. It's super important. Breaks, like as soon as I go on break, like 30 seconds later, I immediately get the idea. It's like, that's what we need to do. Hey, we need to change up these words, or maybe we could do it this way. And it just works really well.
A lot goes into it. Just as much as the artwork. You can't just slap it in like, okay, well he would say this or this, this, and this. It's like we're switching it around, flipping sentences, using different words. Like it has to be perfect. It has to be that character.
Speaking of that, let's talk about some of the rules that we're kind of happening upon. Specifically, the one I'm thinking about is how we try not to reuse phrases or words over and over again. Like, I
feel like,
for instance, what's one that we? I don't know if I have an example, but that's one we try not to reuse words or repeat them.
I think it's only. I mean, I notice that maybe a little more with videos because when I shoot my talent or something like that, I notice like if I'm shooting somebody and I have to crack down on Keenan about this.
Oh yeah,
because whenever I start a new clip, he goes, "All right, guys," or "Hey guys," and I'm like, "You said that. You have to use something else." Because if it was like 5 clips of going, "All right, guys," "All right, guys," "All right, guys," like we definitely, it's just kind of like
I'm learning.
Yeah. So. Things like that.
You think I'd be better at that after doing videos.
Yeah, I know.
But I have to say, hey guys, once, and I don't have to worry about multiple takes.
Yeah. But, I mean, we try to stay away from things like little things, too. Even if in the beginning of the panel, Nico says, like, okay.
Yeah.
Cannot say the word okay.
Okay later.
Throughout.
Instead, we'll say, all right.
Yeah, okay or all right or I'm ready. You know, anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else.
Anything else. Yeah.
Gotta.
It seems like it keeps that. Why do we do that? It's just
the redundancy. Nice, right? Like redundance. Just I feel like the way I feel about it is like you just writing like at the very top, being like, okay, so. Yeah. Okay, so like, you know, whenever someone tries to talk, it's just redundant, and it doesn't take a lot of time. You know, it's not really engaging, and it almost feels like it's
gotta keep that variety.
It's very like just vomited out. It's just, you know, like, oh well, he needs to say something here, so this is what he's gonna say.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well, I mean, if you think about
I read a comic that actually did that, where the characters were talking back to each other. It's like, okay, okay, and then okay, right. Okay, and I was like, yikes.
Yeah, I saw this
good, man.
trailer for a short film that of this company that I like to watch, and there's this character in the trailer, and his name is like Johnny. I think his name is Johnny or Jimmy or something like that, or yeah, it's Jimmy. And one thing that was really like bothersome was every time somebody talked to him throughout the trailer, they used his name. They were like, Jimmy, you shouldn't do this. Hey, Jimmy, what are you thinking? And it was really redundant. It was really annoying, and it wasn't good. So I think...
Is this a local film, or what was it?
No, it was the host of IGN. She starred in it, and so she like posted it on her Twitter. Okay. So I went and I watched the trailer because it's not out yet. So I went and watched the trailer. And
you were like, yikes.
And it looked good. It looked really good, but it just looked like the
dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, I know how this goes too, especially with shooting films. It's like you show up and the person you're working with just has no script. It's like, okay, well, I think I want you guys to say something like this, and then the actors just have to improv. They just improv. Which is
basically what we're doing with the comic at the beginning.
Well, at the beginning,
you want them to say something like this.
Yeah,
and then eventually we go back.
And so they would improv, you know, and the actors improv, and they're just like Jimmy, Johnny, Steve, just over it, and it's just super redundant and annoying. And if you really think about it, like, you never, if you watch any movie, you hear their name once or twice. Never again. Then you never hear their name again. Because you know who they are. They, you know, you don't need to reassure the audience that that's what their name is. You know, like, they know who they are. I've even seen some movies where, like, the title of the movie is their name. Like, you know, it's their name of the character or whatever, but there's you don't hear their name once throughout the entire film.
So maybe we shouldn't have Nico saying Emma so much, since it's the title of the comic. You think?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So
Emma's been saying Nico a lot. That was something I was talking to you today about, is that Emma's been referring to Nico a lot by his name. And there's something about it that I like. I just think it's kind of cute that she calls him Nico. And so that's why...
Well, yeah, I think that's... Yeah.
In the following pages, I want Nico to be calling Emma her name as well.
Right. I think...
Every now and then.
Well, I mean, the way I always thought about it, like, the reason why I was okay with it is because if you really... I think we've explained this before, but if you really think about it, we've been doing the comic for a while. Like, it had its year birthday, and we both working on it for a long time. But the reality of the comic is only a few hours have passed since they picked her up from her house. It's only been a few hours. Yeah. So if you think about when you go to somebody's house, like, go to someone's house, you've never met them before, and their name is Steven, right? You're not going to be like, hey, dude, because they're not gonna know, and you're not going to, you know, like, you would call them by their name. You'd be like, hey, Steven. Yeah. Hey, Steven.
Still getting
hey,
acquainted.
Steven. Yeah. And so once you become acquainted with that person, and they know, you know, they recognize your voice, they recognize you, you can just be like, what's up, dude? Or, yeah.
Nico can be like, what's up, babe?
What's up, babe? What's up, girl?
What's happening, girl?
I don't think he would ever do that. I think Emma would beat him up.
I tried that once. I actually had babe in there for a while.
Yeah, we put babe in there.
We sat there and we're like, it just doesn't sound right. And then we went back and changed it. And I was like,
that was one of those situations. We were working on that page at like 30 minutes before I had to go out, and we were like, all right, that's it. Let's put it out. And we didn't get any time to sit on it. And I remember we released it that night, and then that morning when I was at work, I texted Keenan, and I was like, hey, dude,
that's not right.
I was like, it's not wrong. I was like, we gotta take it out. Do you have that page?
Yeah, this is right here.
Yeah, we gotta fix that page.
This is right here. We changed it to Milady. And I was like, okay, that's so much better.
Yeah, dude. Man.
Yeah. Oh no, this is the original. Yeah. Don't worry, babe. I've got a plan. I even wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. That's all right.
We changed the write it down too. We switched that. We changed it.
Now where did I put it? Yeah. Yeah, this is the original. Oh, I'm glad it's actually here. So now people know we're not lying. Yeah. Yay! Not that I thought you would.
No, somebody, I remember,
just in case.
Somebody noticed and they pointed it out to us. They were like, did you change the page? And we were like,
yeah.
No.
No, even some other people like reacted to it. He's like, you call her babe? That seems like a character. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It is. Mm-hmm. It is. That dialogue was rushed, and we need to go back and change that.
But it was just one of those things where it was like, this needs to come out tonight.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about doing online comic, though, is that we can go back and literally change anything.
Yeah.
We can change anything. And then you go back and be like, hey, did you change this? And we can just deny it. And
yeah, because I don't know.
Never be the wiser.
But,
never be the wiser. But now you are, because now you can see this.
Yeah, we should bring up what you were telling me today. Like, we noticed another thing, too, is like you read some comics, and there's just so much dialogue and so many bubbles, like you can't even see the background. Like
right, yeah.
When we like to.
You want me to pull up a page? Is that what you're saying? Or
no, yeah. We like to go to Barnes and Noble and we go to the comic section and we just read up, see what other people are doing. You know, kind of see.
We're those guys. We're those guys. Chilling on the stool.
Yeah, we go reading the manga,
reading the comics,
reading some manga.
Guys. Yeah.
Read some comics, and we like to do stuff like that. But we were just reading comics, and Keenan's like, "Dude, look at this one." And I remember like the whole page, just. It was so full of dialogue. You couldn't even see them.
Yeah, I'm not here to read. I'm here to look at pictures.
Yeah, that's why I like comics, is because there's minimal reading. You just look at the pictures.
But yeah, the pictures
tell the story.
Tell the word. They say the words. You know, all you have to worry about is dialogue. And then you describe the actions. You describe the scene. You do all that stuff with the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So in actuality, it's almost like it's kind of like you're reading a book, but it's almost more efficient. You know what I mean? Maybe.
You're reading a book without the reading.
it's like the artist puts in the work, so that way you do less work later with like reading the story. Mm-hmm. Because it definitely takes a lot longer, I think, to make a comic series than maybe to write a book. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. But
it would be pretty easy. And then Nico said, with the bandana wrapped around his head.
Replied.
Yeah. But seriously. And then Emma stared at him with confusion, then grabbed his wrist and ran away down the hall with sparkles. See, this is why I would not make a good book writer, but the point is...
I couldn't write a book.
It's easier. It's easier. Okay? Definitely. So, anyway, I'm just going to stick with what I'm good at.
It's tough. I mean, not saying we're super good at it or anything, but I think we are.
We're learning.
We're learning.
We're definitely getting better. I'm definitely a lot better than... Like, I look back on the first page and I'm like, oh, man, I can't believe I made that mistake.
I don't want to read this.
I need to go back and fix this. Mm-hmm. And I will soon. As soon as issue 3 is complete.
Super stoked. Start working on that, so... little revisit.
Yeah.
But,
so, I'm feeling pretty good. You wanna call that good?
Yeah.
I think it's commentary good. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining us for another Director's Commentary.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
I hope this has opened your eyes once again into the world of Emma. Hope you guys enjoyed this latest page, or page 22. Page 23 is coming out on Monday. Very excited to show that to you guys. So we'll see you next time. Until then, you guys take care. See ya.